Chapter 185. The source of Great Qian's weakness 2. Those who could win were no longer in this world and had long gone to the upper realm. The perfected heavenly Star Lord looked at the passage and sighed. So the space hidden in this ruin is a passage. I was wondering who created this special space. He had also miscalculated. He had been tricked by the existence who had set up this place. You can leave on your own or fight here. After the seven-color alms bowl finished speaking, the array formation quickly changed. Songshi realized that other than the core area, the array formations in the other locations were no longer offensive. It was as if they had become one with a mind of their own and obtained some authority. Let's go. This isn't the time to fight. If he were to fight with the others now, it might be difficult for him to leave this place in the end. He pulled his daughter and decisively turned around to retreat. The other factions also retreated tacitly, as if they had no intention of fighting at all. This time, the array formation really did not stop them. They all easily left the ruins. Looking back at the basin where the ruins were, everyone felt their blood run cold. This time, not just Songshi, everyone could tell that the basin was like an alms bowl. They couldn't help but think of how many years ago, a huge seven-color alms bowl had descended from the sky and smashed out a basin here, forming this ruin. Or could this basin be the numinous treasure? Songshi stared at the basin for a long time and felt that this whole ruin was an elaborate ploy. Let's go. What are you looking at? Whoever is alone will definitely become the target of everyone's hunt. Mountain Moving Dao snorted. He seemed to be in a bad mood. Is that so? Songshi was excited when he heard that. They flew back to their respective War Dharma treasures. The originally huge War Dharma treasures now looked like toys compared to the basin. Elder Baekshioken, who was waiting beside the Supreme Kraken ship, welcomed them happily. However, seeing that everyone's expressions were not too good, she tactfully restrained her smile. Some of the more knowledgeable deacons subtly sensed that something was amiss. Not only did everyone's expressions change, but the number of people was also lesser. Exploring ruins of this level would often result in heavy losses. That the ruins did not seem to have been invaded into. Set off and return to the Nether City immediately. Lu Ju ordered. The Nether City was the lair of the Heavenly Ghost sect. It was basically the safest place to go now. Return to the Imperial City. Sword Emperor Gale also gave the order. The demons and humans present tacitly returned home. In the blink of an eye, the basin became empty without any forces. Only free-range insects can grow and strengthen by themselves. This lower realm is too barren. If they don't disperse, we won't be able to take in 10 soul transformation seedlings. Above the basin, a pair of eyes appeared, quietly watching the various factions leave. After Songshi returned to the Great Kraken ship, he was called over by Lu Ju. Blood-robed Elder, from now on, your treatment will be the same as the Grand Elders. If you have any requests, you can tell me. Lu Ju was very generous and had the aura of a big boss. I only want to know how powerful the numinous treasures are to be able to come down from the upper realm. Songshi was curious. Sure, but the price it paid is also very high. After all, the difference in spiritual chi in the lower realm and upper realm is sky high. Even if that seven-color alms bowl spends 10,000 years to cultivate here, it might not be comparable to 100 years in the upper realm. The one who answered was Mountain Moving Dao. He continued, as for how powerful the numinous treasures are, let's put it this way. The strongest treasure nurture in our lower realm is at this level. Numinous treasures have the power to destroy the world. After activating them, they can easily destroy a city. Songshi's blood boiled as he listened. His eyes were bright as he asked, does the Heavenly Ghost sect have it? No. Apart from the numinous treasures themselves, only existences that surpass the soul transformation realm can fully activate it. Its level is too high. In our entire world, there aren't more than 2 digits of numinous treasures recorded. Mountain Moving Dao shook his head naturally. Who has it? Great Qian, Lu Ju replied. Songshi was stunned. So this was how Great Jin suppressed many cultivators. Previously, he was still wondering why the martial emperor of Great Jin was only at the nascent soul realm. What right did he have to intimidate so many sects? That's not right. Didn't you say that one has to surpass the soul transformation realm to control numinous treasures? Songshi looked at Mountain Moving Dao. You have overlooked an exception that I mentioned, Mountain Moving Dao said meaningfully. Excluding the numinous treasures. Song Shi was enlightened. That's right. The numinous treasures have recognized the founding emperor of Great Qian as their master. If it takes the initiative to help, he will naturally be able to unleash a portion of the power of the numinous treasures. Unless he's facing someone with the same situation who can be his match. Mountain Moving Doust had a complicated expression. That old thing was really talented back then. He killed 8 great demon venerables, 4 martial venerables, and 3 soul transformation cultivators. He unified 1,000,000 miles of mountains and rivers and intimidated the 8 dynasties to be scared of attacking Great Qian. Then you all still dare to rebel? Song Shi felt that he was close to some secrets. Ghost Butcher said disdainfully, her, that numinous treasure was taken away by the founding emperor of Great Qian more than 1,000 years ago. Furthermore, the Sky Demon cult has an incomplete numinous treasure. We are not afraid of their current replica numinous treasure. That is where our confidence come from. Lu Ju mocked, it's because these people who brought treasures to the upper realm that our world is getting weaker and weaker. It turns out that the weakening of Great Qian was not because of moral decay. In the end, it was because they had lost their killing weapon. Song Shi was a little speechless. His previous understanding was still influenced by some knowledge from his previous life. He thought that the corruption of the imperial court had caused the rebel army to rise. In the end, it was because their nuclear weapons were gone and they could not intimidate the various large factions. That's about right. If the numinous treasures are still around, no matter how corrupt they are, who would dare rebel? Lu Ju nodded and looked into the distance with a sigh. I didn't expect there to be a numinous treasure here. No one has discovered it for so many years. If anyone can control it, they can replicate the achievements of the martial emperor of Great Qian and establish a -1-year-old empire. Ghost Butcher smiled bitterly. This thing can refine goo and control people. It's easy to create an army of goo with it. It's really suitable for expansion. However, it has an owner already and has already turned us all into worms. Let's not think about it. At the mention of the 7-colored alms bowl, Lu Ju and the others' faces darkened and they fell silent. Song Shi completely understood how terrifying numinous treasures were. A dynasty that had established 1,000,000 miles of mountains and rivers could easily control a group of nascent soul powerhouses. Any one of these feats was considered shocking. He did not know how else he could describe numinous treasures. He could only compare it to be the nuclear weapon of this world. The faction with this thing should be able to stand strong and lead the others for 10,000 years. Let's not talk about this anymore. From now on, all of us who have been poisoned will stay in the sect to cultivate. As for overthrowing Great Qian, well, let Ghost Butcher and the rest take charge of it for the time being. Lu Ju broke the silence and announced his next arrangements. Yes, this is the most suitable. We've been poisoned and have become prey. It's fine for us, but it's too dangerous for the others to go out. Ghost Butcher nodded. I'll go back and check the ancient books to see if I can find a way to solve this problem. Mountain Moving Doust frowned. This thing is in my body. Even if I reach the soul transformation realm and go to the upper realm, it will probably be a hidden danger. Blood-robed elder, what do you think? Lu Ju asked. If he said these people in front of the other party, it meant that he had allowed Song Shi to enter the upper echelons of the sect. I don't have any thoughts. I just want to hunt other goo bodies and form my nascent soul as soon as possible. Song Shi smiled. Hunting other goo bodies could not only send him to court death, but also increase his devouring power rapidly. Lu Youayu, who was listening at this eye and had no right to interrupt, looked at Song Shi with a strange expression. This person still dared to appear in front of others now. Sure, I'll arrange for someone to support you. Lu Ju smiled. We also need to figure out the specific effect of this coup. If the blood-robed elder is willing to share information you can exchange for the resources in the sect, then it's a deal. Song Shi looked into the distance. Are you going to accompany me to destroy the Yi family now? Lu Ju, Ghost Butcher, and Mountain Moving Doust looked at each other and felt a chill in their hearts. This blood-robed old ghost was really as vengeful as the rumor said. Now, he actually still wanted to take revenge, and even exterminate the entire clan. This kind of person could be considered a double-edged sword. If they did not use him well, it would be very easy to hurt his own people. No problem, Ghost Butcher and I will go with you. Mountain Mover, you stay on the Supreme Kraken ship. After Lu Ju agreed, After all, his enmity with the Yi family was not small. "Father, I want to go too." Lu Youai revealed an expression of rage. "Then come. It's been so many years, it's time to take revenge on the Yi family." Lu Jia's eyes turned black and cold. "I have to deal the final blow to that old man. Since he dared to snatch my things, I naturally have to be the one to send him on his way." Sanchi said coldly. That guy was a lucky draw opportunity. He could not miss it.